What's up, Math 8? Thanks for tuning in for another episode of Math with Mullins. Today we're going to look at lesson 3.3, how to solve two-step inequalities. And you're going to realize that there's a lot of similarities between solving two-step inequalities and solving two-step equations, which is what we did in the previous chapter. So let's go ahead and get started. Things we want to make sure we are understanding, and my formatting slightly varied a little bit here when I originally made this slide, but we're still going to use the steps don't call me after midnight, making sure we're trying to move that variable first after combining like terms and distributing. The thing we want to make sure of we are looking at is we want to watch for negatives and your inequality symbols. Okay, so we talked about that in the last lesson. If we divide or multiply by a negative, we have to flip that inequality symbol, so just keeping those things in mind. Let's take time now to pause the video right here, copy down the steps, and when you're done, click play. All right, we're going to solve both of these, so we're going to solve and graph. Remember, we're using the don't call me after midnight. D is distribute. I don't have anything to distribute in this very first one. I don't have anything to combine, so now I'm ready to move variables. I don't have any two-sided variables, so now I'm just ready to add or subtract. I'm going to add 4 to both sides. So I get 2v is greater than or equal to 12, and then I'm going to divide both sides by 2, so that v is greater than or equal to 6. When you graph that, you have 6 there in the middle, you can do 12 to the right and 0 to the left. This is going to be a closed circle pointing to the right. Okay, the next one, drawing that line right next to the inequality symbol, I'm going to get all my constants on the same side, so my numbers, this looks like it's already the variable side or the y side, so I want this side to be my number side. I can do that by subtracting 9. I get 5y is less than or equal to negative 5. Dividing both sides by 5 will give us our inequality of y is less than or equal to negative 1. So if I graph that, I've got negative 1 here, negative 2 to the left and 0 to the right. Less than or equal to negative 1 is a closed circle pointing left. How did you do? Let's see if you can try these on your own. Be very cautious because it does look like you're going to have to flip both inequality symbols because you're dividing by a negative. Let's pause the video here, try them on your own, and when you're ready to check them, click play. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do, draw that line next to inequality sign and start to move my numbers. I'm going to subtract 7 from both sides, so that way I have y over negative 6 is less than 2. To solve my next step, I'm going to have to multiply by negative 6 on both sides. As I do that, those negative 6's cancel out, so all that's left is y. I will need to flip my inequality symbol to be greater than, and then 2 times negative 6 is negative 12. So my answer should be y is greater than negative 12. I've got negative 12 here, 0 could be to the right, negative 24 to the left. That's an open circle pointing right. For the next one, I started the same way, drawing my line next to the inequality symbol, minus 3 on both sides. So I have r divided by negative 4 is less than or equal to 3. To start getting r by itself, I had to multiply both sides by negative 4. When I do that, the 4's cancel out, so all that's left is r. I do have to flip my inequality symbol because I am multiplying by a negative, so that becomes greater than or equal to. And then my result is r is greater than or equal to negative 12. As I graph that, my number line is going to look the same as the previous one, but now I have a closed circle pointing right. Okay? Number 3, go ahead and take time now to pause this one, try it on your own, and when you're ready to go over the answer, click play. All right, first thing I did was I went ahead and decided to keep it like this. I'm going to add 10 to both sides to get all my numbers on the left side here. So this is going to be 12 is greater than negative 3t. You should also notice that because I am multiplying or dividing by a negative, that means my inequality symbol will need to be flipped. 12 divided by negative 3 will give me negative 4. This greater than symbol changes to less than, and t is all that I have left. Now, if you are ready to graph this one, you can rewrite it as t is greater than negative 4 Notice how the inequality is still opening to the t. Same thing here, so that when I graph t is greater than -4, that is an open circle pointing to the right. Number 4, and then that'll conclude our lesson on 3.3. Go ahead and pause the video now, try it on your own, and when you're ready, click play to check it. All right, first thing I did was subtract 1 from both sides. M over 3 is less than or equal to 5. My next step should be to multiply both sides by 3. The 3's on the left side cancel out, so all that's left is m is less than or equal to 15. What that looks like is 15 in the middle. Maybe we have 30 to the right and 0 to the left. Less than or equal to 15 means closed circle, pointing left. That is going to conclude our video on 3.3.